Epictetus, How to be emotionally strong with Stoicism. Build your character through good actions. Every challenge you face will reveal your strengths. Stay resilient, and over time, you will create something lasting and worthy of your true potential. Epictetus, one of the great philosophers of Stoicism, teaches us that actions are more valuable than words, emphasizing that our true strength lies in how we act in the face of adversity. In this video, we will explore more about Epictetus' teachings and life. Epictetus is remembered as one of the three pillars of Stoicism, alongside Seneca and Emperor Marcus Aurelius. Born around 55 AD in Hierapolis, modern-day Turkey, he experienced a childhood marked by the brutality and cruelty of Nero's reign. As a slave, he endured constant abuse from his master, leaving him with permanent physical scars, including a lame leg. Yet, despite these circumstances, Epictetus never allowed these limitations to define his life. He believed that true freedom lay within the mind, and with this perspective, he overcame all the adversities that would have broken others. Epictetus teaches us that no one has the power to hurt us emotionally unless we allow it. Even in the face of insults or aggression, we have the power to choose how we react. He stressed the importance of not being slaves to our emotions or hasty judgments of situations. When provoked, he suggested we step back, reflect, and avoid impulsive reactions. This practice, he believed, brought clarity and strength. Despite all the challenges that arose, Epictetus remained faithful to the principles of Stoicism. During his youth, still a slave, he was sent to study with the Stoic master Gaius Musonius Rufus, which transformed his worldview. This shaped his ability to face even the most difficult situations with discipline and focus. After gaining his freedom, Epictetus was exiled from Rome. But this didn't stop him from establishing his own school in Nicopolis, where he became a highly respected teacher. Epictetus believed that the primary purpose of Stoic philosophy was to offer people the tools to face both everyday challenges and the great losses in life. His wisdom was not limited to any social class. He taught everyone from commoners to emperors. In fact, his teachings profoundly influenced Marcus Aurelius, who, through notes made by a tutor who had studied directly with Epictetus, found a source of practical and moral wisdom. Although Epictetus did not leave behind written works, his lessons were recorded by his disciple Flavius Arrian in two main texts, the Handbook of Epictetus and the Discourses. These works synthesize his practical view of achieving true happiness, or eudaimonia, through self-knowledge, understanding the laws of nature, and cultivating reason. Building a strong moral character and living an ethical life is one of the greatest goals we can achieve. To do so, it is essential to act virtuously and learn to master our vices and impulses. Now imagine yourself as a dedicated student in Epictetus' school, committed to absorbing his teachings. The first lesson and central foundation of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. Understanding this concept and practicing it clearly will guide all of your thinking. Some things are within our control, while others are not. What is under our control are our opinions, preferences, desires, and aversions. Essentially, everything related to our actions. What is beyond our control includes factors like the body we were born with, our social status, the opinions of others, and other external aspects that are not up to us. Trying to control what is beyond our reach only leads to frustration and disappointment. If you believe you can dominate what lies outside your control, or take on responsibilities that are not yours, your pursuit will be distorted. As a result, you may end up blaming life, others, or even fate. Epictetus emphasizes that practicing authority over ourselves is a challenge. It requires discernment, self-discipline, and control. The first step is to clearly differentiate what is within our control and what is not. When we take responsibility for what depends on us and accept what we cannot control, without complaining or feeling victimized, we begin morally progressing. On the other hand, wasting energy on unnecessary criticism or disputes only drains us and fuels more frustration. For example, imagine a relationship where you want your partner to change a rude behavior or show more financial initiative. Despite your efforts, you cannot control the actions of another person. In the workplace, imagine you're leading a team, but one member shows a lack of commitment, arrives late to meetings, and misses deadlines. You can guide them, but you cannot guarantee a change in their behavior. Insisting that you have total control over someone else's actions will only result in more emotional strain. Thus, practicing the dichotomy of control is an essential skill. It's about developing the clarity to distinguish what is within our reach, the responsibility to act upon it, and the self-control to accept what lies beyond our domain. The second lesson in Epictetus's school is the practice of self-control. He taught that if we allow frustrations and anxieties to dominate us, we become prisoners of these disturbing emotions. This can turn our life into a continuous cycle of anguish and suffering. To start practicing, Epictetus suggests training with simple situations. If something small happens, like spilling a bit of oil or finding that wine was stolen, tell yourself this is an opportunity to practice calm and self-control. For example, imagine you're stuck in traffic, late for an important appointment, and just as it's your turn to pass, the traffic light turns red. To make matters worse, the driver behind you fails to stop in time and crashes into your car. While this situation is extremely unsettling, you don't have to react with anger or aggression. The traffic light, and the driver who crashed are external events beyond your control. However, the way you choose to react is entirely under your control. There's a gap between the stimulus and the response, and it's in that gap that your freedom of choice lies. This idea applies not only to everyday situations, but also to deeper matters, such as the fundamental tendencies of your personality. Our behavior is the result of conscious choices, not external conditions. We have the ability to align our feelings with our values and shape them. The fourth lesson, practice moderation. In life, you should behave as if you were at a banquet. If something is offered to you, extend your hand and take a moderate portion. Epictetus. With this metaphor, Epictetus teaches us the importance of temperance, one of the 4 Stoic virtues. Temperance is about moderation in desires and seeking balance in the face of pleasures, pains, and needs. This does not mean ignoring or repressing feelings, but learning not to be dominated by them. Imagine, for example, you receive a bonus at work. Instead of spending it all impulsively, temperance suggests saving part of it, paying off debts, and consciously planning investments. Practicing temperance helps create harmony and live in alignment with your values and goals. The fifth lesson, be humble in learning. It is impossible for a person to begin learning something they think they already know. Epictetus often grew frustrated with students who, despite claiming to want to learn, believe they already knew everything. This attitude prevents us from growing and exploring new possibilities. To avoid this, reflect on your last learning experience, such as a book or movie, and list 2 things you learned. This helps strengthen the habit of learning and seeing value in simple things. Keeping an open mind is essential to avoid falling into the trap of ignorance, even when we think we know enough. The sixth lesson, live by principles. Your life should be guided by a set of principles. You must respect them as if they were laws. Epictetus, principles are moral guidelines that help us act consistently and in line with our core values. Without them, life can fall into chaos, losing the sense of virtue. To define your principles, reflect on what truly matters to you, such as honesty, justice, or gratitude. These values will serve as the foundation for your decisions and actions. It's crucial to recognize that your principles are essential for living with purpose and balance. Other important values for a life guided by principles include those that shape our character and guide us in difficult decisions. To implement them, start by reflecting deeply on what truly matters to you. These values should not be just abstract concepts, but should transform into clear, applicable rules for daily life. For example, if you value honesty, you might create a rule like, I will always tell the truth, even if it is uncomfortable. Or if you value compassion, you could set a rule. In every situation, I will seek to understand the other person's point of view before judging. These rules should be simple yet specific enough for you to apply consistently. Moreover, it's essential to treat the violation of these principles as something serious, as breaking them would go against your deepest values and compromise your integrity. When you consciously commit to these rules, they act as a solid compass, helping you navigate life's challenges with coherence and determination. Now, think about the impact these principles could have on your daily life. Imagine facing family, work, or personal problems with the confidence that your decisions are grounded in clear values. Not only would you avoid regret, but you would also become a more confident and resilient person. The seventh lesson. Happiness should not depend on what you don't have. It is entirely impossible to unite happiness with a desire for what we don't have. Happiness has everything it wants, and like those well-fed, it should have neither hunger nor thirst. Epictetus. This teaching from Epictetus is a crucial lesson in combating one of happiness's greatest enemies, conditional happiness. Have you ever said it or thought something like, "I'll be happy when I have my car. I'll be happy when I get that promotion. Or I'll be happy when I find the perfect relationship." This kind of thinking creates a psychological trap, where happiness is always just out of reach. It's like walking through an endless desert, chasing a mirage that never arrives. With each step, the promise of happiness seems further away. When we cling to these conditions, we miss out on enjoying the present moment. Stoicism teaches us to recognize these desires and face reality. We must choose between yearning for something unattainable and finding happiness in the now. To illustrate, imagine a common situation. You really want a salary increase. Instead of waiting for the raise to feel fulfilled, why not recognize the value of what you've already achieved? Gratitude doesn't mean giving up on improving, but rather appreciating what you have, while focusing and working with dedication toward what you want. The eighth lesson. Define who you want to be before acting. First, say to yourself what kind of person you want to be, then do what you have to do. Epictetus. An archer is unlikely to hit the target if they never aim. Likewise, you are unlikely to achieve your goals without first defining who you want to be. Before anything else, ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to become? What are my ideals? Think about the people you admire. What do they have that you would like to incorporate into your own life? For example, let's say you admire someone for their courage. How could you develop this quality in yourself? Perhaps by starting with small fears in your everyday life, or by standing firm in situations that require strength. Stoicism reminds us that it's not enough to just wish for something. We must act. But action without direction can also be fruitless. Therefore, define your ideals clearly and stay determined in your pursuit. To wrap up, if you've made it this far, leave the phrase, "Stay strong" in the comments. This shows that you are committed to your own growth. And don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications to continue learning from our videos. Now, to discover how Marcus Aurelius mastered the world through Stoicism, simply click on one of the videos appearing on your screen. Thank you for watching. Stay with God and in peace. Until next time, my friends.